Hi, I'm Cheryl, and we'll be making this card today. And it's just beautiful. I used the Garden and Bloom stamp set, and this is the Delightful Daisy Designer Series paper. Wait till you see this. I'm going to show you some of the papers that come in that in just a little bit. But this is what we need to make the card. We need piece of Always Artichoke, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. That's our card base. We need 2 more pieces. One is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and the other is 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. And all of this is going to be listed below, so don't make yourself too crazy. We need just a little piece of Whisper White. 1.5 by 1.5 will do you. That was just a scrap I had, and another piece that's 3 by 3. And then this is the piece of the Designer Series paper, and this is Delightful Daisy, and that's 2.5 by, oh, I didn't write the length down. Let me measure that. Two and a half by 4 and something. Let's see. Is that cut right? That's not cut right. It should be 2.5 by 4.5. And I'm going to write that down real quick so I remember when I go to put everything down below here. And I'm also going to grab my paper cutter, and I'm going to use it just like I usually do. I'm going to set it on my lap, and I'm just going to trim that little bit off that shouldn't be there. So I'm glad I checked that. That wouldn't have been good. Okay, because that's going to go right on that piece of Always Artichoke. And then we need another piece here. This is from the Brights Designer Series paper. I think of these as like the everyday Designer Series paper, and they come in all the colors that match the Stampin' Up inks exactly. And this isn't the Always Artichoke color. This is Old Olive, I believe. Okay. We need a 3/4 inch circle punch and a 1 inch circle punch. Our Tombow. And we need some dimensionals for the butterfly, and I didn't grab those, so let me grab those real quick. So we're going to use just a little snip of dimensionals for our butterfly, and of course we have our Garden and Bloom stamp set here. We're going to use the big sketchy flower, the big fill-in part. We'll be using the stem. We're going to use the large leaves, the sketchy, and the fill-in part. And I think that's, oh, and the butterflies. We have the butterfly sketchy and the butterfly fill-in. Okay. So we have we're going to use Tuxedo Black, Memento ink, Peekaboo Peach, Flirty Flamingo, and Tranquil Tide. So let's get started on the card. What do you want to do first? Should we stamp the butterfly first? Let's do the butterfly first. So I get my Memento ink and the sketchy butterfly. This cracks me up. They put the little arrow thing on the butterfly, like it's not obvious which direction you've stamped the butterfly. Oh, we can I'll close that up and put that aside. We're going to use both Peekaboo Peach and the Flirty Flamingo on the fill-in part. So I'm going to take my stamp, and I'm just going to ink up like a little bit past the top part on this. Can you see? You see how I've done that on the stamp? Okay, so now I'm going to stamp that. Right there. And that does leave a hard line, but it'll be okay, I promise. See, so we've got this so far. Now, I'm going to take the Flirty Flamingo and I'm going to stamp a little bit past the bottom half of the butterfly. Yeah. So now the two colors will overlap a little bit in the center. And we'll have a multicolor butterfly. So there we go. There he is. It's just lovely. And we're going to fussy cut this little guy out. So what do I need to keep? I need to keep out my my Flirty Flamingo because we're going to... Oh, that's something else we need. We need scissors. Nice sharp little pair of scissors is a wonderful thing to have. And I'm just going to cut off this excess here. And just cut him out real quick. Now, I'm not going to cut his antennas out. This little guy is going to have to be without antennas. And I didn't cut the bottom of his body out either when I did this. So we're going to skip over the body when we get to that part. And it will look fine, don't worry. And almost done with the fussy cutting. And then we can stamp our flower. There. So we have our little butterfly. We'll set him aside. I won't need the scissors anymore. I can put them away. So let's get all of our flower parts out here. And oh dear, I seem to be missing. Oh, there it is right there. That's what I was looking for. My sketchy flower. I'm going to do that first. And I'll stamp that in Memento black and get my little 3x3 piece of Whisper White out here. Yeah, that's good on there. Alright, that looks like that's inked up good. It looks like my my black is getting a little dry in the center. We're going to put that up in the upper left hand corner. Okay, there we go. And we've got our flower stamped. Alright, and then next I'm going to put I'll do my inside. And where's there it is, my Flirty Flamingo. Forgot what I was doing for a second there. And get my Flirty Flamingo, fill in, stamp, inked up. And so we know how we set this on here. This is my trick. I lay this down and let's see, my pointy thing is going this way, so I know my pointy thing has to go this way. And there. So, oh, isn't that lovely? I really like these watercolor type stamp sets. Okay, and we're going to stamp our stem next. And here's a little trick with the stem. We're going to make it pretty curvy because there's not a whole lot of room on this little piece of paper here. Oh. I need to curve this end more. There we go. And you just put it on your stamp how you want it. It starts out in the, as you get it in the box straight. And let's see, how's that? That looks pretty good to me. But you can put it on your stamp block and curve it how you want it. You can do this with any of the thinner, flexible photopolymer type stamps. Ink that up with the Memento black. And I want that to come in right there. Beautiful. That's just beautiful. And now we can do our leaves. Let's see, there's the leaf. And I'm going to have them come off the side here. Isn't that fun? Normally you'd put them like this on either side of the stem. I'm going to have them on both sides of the stem. Now we need our Tranquil Tide. And I did a little bit of color shading on these too. So I stamped them or inked it up, and then with you could use a paper towel or sponge dauber or just about anything you feel like. And I just daubed off a little bit of the color on the tips of the leaves. Yeah, so now that will be lighter. I'm going to huff on it because I've been kind of playing around with it for a little while. And now I'll just line those up and stamp them. And it's a little dark right now. It will lighten up though. And you can see a color gradation there. So we have all of our stamping done. I don't have to worry about being messy with the inks anymore. I can put them aside. Get them out of here. Alright, so let's put this onto our Always Artichoke panel. And oh yeah, I promised to show you that design, the Delightful Daisy Designer Series paper. This is really pretty. It looked pretty on the website when I ordered it, but man, in person it's even prettier. I got the Naturally Eclectic set too, and that is really nice also. But look here. Okay, this is the paper I'm using on this card, and it is just gorgeous. Like big watercolor daisies all over it. And then look, here's some more of the papers. There's this, and these are all kind of watercolory. And then it's got on the back, it's got this pattern, but it's like faded in and out. Let me slide that back in. Let's see what else. Oh, and these daisies, these are so pretty too. I mean, this is such a cool set. And then there's this is diagonal stripes with the, and then that has that faded in and out kind of look. And then these, I mean, just beautiful. And this is cool. I mean, there's nothing in here that I don't care for at all. It's just all really, really slick looking paper. Okay, so enough of that. Enough of this. Okay, now we'll get our Designer Series paper out and our other piece of Always Artichoke. And before we put these down, we're going to punch out See, I'm being economical on my papers. I'm gonna punch out this is the 3/4 inch circle from like the center top, because this is going to go over it like this. Okay, so we want it where it's hidden away. I'm going to punch right there. That looks really pretty there. Okay, so there's our 3/4. Oh, and look, and there's the back of this. I mean, look how pretty this is too. It's almost watercolor batik-ish looking. Anyway, then I'm going to use the 1-inch circle punch. Get distracted there for a minute. And I'm going to punch a circle of the Always Artichoke. Okay, so I've got those. And now I will attach these two. If I can find my Tombow again, here we go. We'll just put some on the back here. And I'll put those two together. We've got just like 1/8 of an inch showing of the Always Artichoke on these pieces. So I've got that. And while I'm gluing, let's glue this little circle down. And there we go. A little landing pad for our butterfly. And then let's put this down. Our polka dots. Or you could use this side if you wanted, I suppose. That side's nice too, but I like the polka dots, so that's what I'm using. Alright, and we've got about 1/2 inch showing all the way around here on our card. Okay. And now we can start putting these in. Now, anywhere along the line here, you feel like you'd like to pop something up. If you'd like to pop up this, if you'd like to pop up this, go for it. I'm just doing them flat, but this is your card you're making, so make it your own. Make it your own. Do what you want. I can't see it from my house. I don't know what y'all are doing, and it wouldn't bother me anyway. I mean, that's the idea of these cards, right? You look and see what other people are doing, and then it gives you ideas. And this gets centered. And we're getting there, getting to the home stretch. And we'll put this piece down, put some Tombow on the back here. And that gets centered side to side, but I have it a little bit towards the top. I just thought that made it look a little more interesting. Okay, and next we'll put our circle. And I just covered up this little corner up here with that. And now I am going to pop up the little butterfly. So I have all these little edge pieces that I've kept. And you should do that too, because these are perfectly good dimensionals. All these little bits along the edges here, they're wonderful. So keep them. You use them for these little bitty things that you want to stick in places. And I'm going to put the butterfly right there. I'll center him in the circle. And maybe I'll give his wings a little curl on the ends too. So there we go. This card's finished. And here's my original. They look very much alike. So I hope you've enjoyed making this card with me today. And if you have, then be sure to hit the like button down below. If you'd like to see more of my videos, then hit subscribe. If there are any Stampin' Up products that you would like to purchase, then you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website. And those are listed down below, as well as a list of all the things that I've used today. So, y'all take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.